Hi and happy end of the year. It's end of 2024. We're going to enter into 2025. So this video is a little bit of a review of the past year. So first I wanted to just thank you all very, very much for subscribing, commenting, supporting, being interested in, and letting me know of my channel. It's very much greatly appreciated, and I want you to know that. I wanted to share with you some of the results of the Business Insider article because a lot of you are here as a result of that interview, and it was a very interesting experience. You know, it's never comfortable to be vulnerable, which is kind of funny that I would be, shy from being vulnerable because the first book I published, it's called Wine, Sex, and Suicide, My Near-Death Divorce, is nothing but vulnerable. It's completely raw, unfiltered, exposed. But I did notice that, I had some hesitation, like being vulnerable with the state of, cash flow of late. But I wanted to encourage you to embrace vulnerability. And Brene Brown is best for, research on this topic, but it really is a starting point for connection. And you don't know what's going to come from that vulnerability. So I wanted to share with you just some insights that I had from that. The first thing was that there were an incredible number of kind, genuine, supportive people making comments or sending an email, reaching out in some way. And that was just really encouraging to see, because I know social media can be kind of a battleground with keyboard warriors. And while certainly there was that, it was really wonderful just to see like genuine kindness on social media. I had some, people connect through LinkedIn. I had someone reach out to help me how to leverage LinkedIn because I really was kind of new to that platform, wasn't really sure how to use it effectively. And I even had a couple of marriage proposals and other interesting proposals. I won't go into the details there. And of course, there were some very harsh and judgmental comments. A couple of them were themed around, well, she didn't plan well. She didn't do her planning. She didn't, think it through. And I thought that was very interesting because I absolutely did think it through, and I did have my plan. I was working online when I moved to Panama, but job situations change, and that can happen anywhere. But I think the greater point to be made is that we can't not take risks because we are afraid that things may change. Life is only about change. That's the only thing that's consistent about life is change. And it would be so much more detrimental to have stayed in place in fear out of overthinking and anxious thoughts about, the future. Well, what if this job, that I have goes away? What am I going to do? And naively, I guess I just assumed that I would apply for work and find another remote coaching job. And that has not proven to be the case. And I do think that I was being aged out of the system a bit. But that challenge has motivated me and inspired me to get busy and get down to business with my writing and self-publishing. And writing has always been my first love, really. So, if I can admit to myself that I spent too much time being a bit lazy and not focused or productive in that area. But now that I am, I can see a path forward for that actually bringing in some income. So I have a heartbreak healing workbook coming out at the end of January, and that'll be followed up by 6 shadow work journals, prompted journals, and probably releasing those like once a month. And I'm just feeling very encouraged about doing that. And I really do believe that with my experience, coaching background, my love of writing, I think I'm pretty decent at it, that will be a successful endeavor. One of the main things that I wanted to share with you that came from my being vulnerable and opening myself up for that interview, I got an email on a Sunday morning from Jose Byrne. He is the family of one of the most well-known and successful, and I would say well-respected developers, real estate developers here in Panama. They own and operate several hotel chains. They do construction of projects. And the email was very short and to the point, but because I had mentioned something about doing some, marketing for real estate through my videos, he said, let's have a conversation. So as a result of that conversation, I am thrilled to say that I will be collaborating with Empresas Byrne in a marketing capacity through my channel for some of their different projects. I love real estate. I used to be a commercial real estate appraiser. I don't know if you know that. But I more kind of like just, touring and seeing and looking at design elements and not so much the math part. I'll leave that to people who are good with math. So in the coming months, you'll be seeing a result of that marketing collaboration with them, and it's not a paid position. I can't really like formally work. If I wanted to do that, I'd have to get a work permit. But these would be marketing fees, like referral fees paid to me. For example, if somebody buys or rents a property that is featured on my channel, I would have an agreement with them that there would be a referral fee, just like I have with some of the private owners of homes that are on my channel. So I was really just super excited about that. And that really proved to me that it is absolutely worth taking the risk and being vulnerable, because you don't know what is going to come from that. And even though there were people that were very critical and judgmental, someone who is a highly successful business person saw something in me that was of great value. And for that, I am incredibly grateful. Let's continue with the year in review video. I thought I would do a little review of the year, just some of the highlights, starting with last year's Christmas parade. And then I forgot, I was without my car for many months last year. So I got Buttercup, my trike, which I actually ended up taking out for a little spin. January kicked off with the wine festival in the Paseo Plaza. I'll be covering that again this year. And I started doing the garden tours, which I'm so thrilled that you guys really enjoy, because they're really a lot of fun to create. And it's just amazing how there's always something new happening in the garden. I hope this morning glory returns, because the plant died out and nothing has regrown yet. This was from a moonlight hike that I did on Cerro Silla. I was going to try and do one last month, but it was too cloudy. If you're visiting El Valle, I definitely recommend the Chorro Las Mozas River Walk. You can actually swim in the water, and it's just a really nice, easy walk, although it is kind of rocky, so you do have to be careful. Amazing iguana that was in my garden, being chased by that bully cat, made it down to the Thursday marketplace in Coronado, and also more of the festivals here in El Valle. This was the Mandarin Festival. It was pretty small compared to the year before, and who knows if this year will be larger or smaller. Another beautiful waterfall close to El Valle is Chorro La Poma, just outside of town before you get into the valley. I did some hotel reviews of local hotels here in El Valle, and it's funny, like 2 or 3 of them that I'm still trying to get in touch with just don't respond to email. Even if I've gotten their correct email online, I still don't hear back from them. I was revitalizing my compost bin and had posted on Facebook I was looking for manure, not expecting to have this amazing encounter with Ivan Novi's horses. They are just magnificent creatures. And thank you for the manure. It was great. Thanks to cousin and friend Renee, I had a couple of hosted nights in the city. You guys know it's been pretty lean this year, so it was really nice to see her, first of all, but just to get away also, because I do like having some outings, and when you're low on funds, you just really can't do that. And thanks to my friends Linda and David, I had a nice night at the Gamboa Rainforest Resort. I highly recommend this as a stop for your travels in Panama. It's just outside of the city, and it's an amazing way to just kind of get in touch with the jungle nature. And there's a trail nearby where you can hear the howler monkeys. It's kind of frightening. Something I never thought I'd see again was my car fixed after being without it for 5 months. I still don't have the money from the insurance company, MapFree, but I'm hopeful that in 2025 I'll get reimbursed. I got to meet this earth angel, Gilberto, who runs the Cabanas Temporal for the dogs in La Chorrera, and thank you so much for donations for people who've donated. He is working tirelessly to help these animals. I made it to the Atlapa Convention Center for the artisan show. It was amazing. Really, really a wonderful display of national pride and culture. And I brought you down to Gorgona to see Panama Andes and all the volunteers there who are doing really amazing work in the community to help with the stray population of dogs in the Coronado, Gorgona, even up to Playa Blanca area. I celebrated my 60th birthday with friends at the beach. It was just a nice, relaxing day. Unfortunately, it poured buckets of rain, but it was a really nice, chillaxing day. One of my favorite hikes is Gaital, and this year I am determined to do India Dormida, which I have not done yet. It is a beautiful day. I didn't get to go yesterday on my little trike ride through town because it was raining. So today I'm going to take a ride through town so we can see all the festive decorations. So as this year comes to a close, are you someone who makes resolutions, or do you contemplate how the year was for you? I generally don't do New Year's resolutions because they just don't really stick. I do like to have a general theme in mind, and at first I thought that my theme was going to be opulence because I love the word opulence. I just love the way it sounds, and I'm working on, building my prosperity consciousness and getting rid of some limiting beliefs that I had around my ability to earn income from self-publishing. I was always thinking,
oh, that can happen for other people, but it's not going to happen for me. And so I just, published a few books and then stopped trying. And you can't do that. You have to keep going and reiterate and keep modifying until something works, until you find a better way, a system that actually is working. I was thinking about this last night, and opulence didn't seem quite like the right theme. And what word came to me was optimal. And that makes more sense. This year, I'm focused on what is the optimal best for me. What's the optimal best productivity, the optimal best for my finances, the optimal best for my health. That's definitely something I need to work on. So that is my theme word for 2025, is what will be optimal. If you are thinking of moving to Panama, or if you're at the time in your life where you're retiring, or maybe you're changing careers, it's a really good time to get aligned with what's important to you. I'm going to leave a link for a values list on my website, and it's really easy to do. It's a simple exercise. You just go through the list and select what kind of stands out to you, not from the mind so much as like from the heart. And you pick 10. It could be values that you already have, or it could be aspirational values. And these will change over time because we change over time as human beings do. And some things become more important than others as we get older, or change from being a working person to a retired person, or, for me, living in the United States to living in Panama. This bridge was finished and it was fine and everyone was going across it, and then apparently there was a problem with it and they're redoing the whole thing. So for example, as far as values, time freedom has always been an important value for me, and that was one of the main deciding factors I thought about when I was thinking about moving.
I'm so glad this trike has battery power, because it's been a while since I've been for a ride, so it's nice to have the option for some power.
I have another video where I went through the Victoriano Lorenzo Museum, and that is highly recommended on my list of things to do in El Valle. It's really fascinating. They actually have quite a big collection of antiquities, earthenware, that they don't allow photography in that room because people may replicate and try and sell counterfeit pieces. I just thought that was pretty fascinating. That, and the funder or the owner of the museum remains anonymous. In 2025, I'm going to eat at this restaurant, which I have not tried yet. But every time I go by it, it always looks like people are really enjoying their food, and they have that wood-fired oven. This is the Paseo Plaza, and a lot of events and activities happen here throughout the year. It's decorated now for Christmas. The Mandarin Festival was here. There's a barbecue festival that happens, and that was in the plaza as well. It was a weird barbecue festival because, or actually it was a barbecue contest, and there wasn't any food available for sale, which was really strange. It was just a contest for the barbecue people. It smelled amazing, but we couldn't buy any of the food.
So this is probably TMI, but my butt is killing me sitting on this bike. Oh my gosh. Oh, all right. I gotta go get home, and sit on something soft.
This is one of my favorite houses to stop and see the horses at the property. There's so many horses in town, and I really love hearing them walking down the street. It's just something kind of soothing about the clip-clop of horses on the street. But, you know, some of the sounds in El Valle and Panama in general are not soothing. You've got the fishmongers, you've got the metal collectors, you've got roosters at 3 in the morning. They don't realize it's not morning and they're waking you up.
Seriously, you'd think with all the natural padding I have that I would be comfortable sitting on that trike seat, but no, it's not. Oh my goodness. I'm home just in time, it looks like, because I think there's some thunder and some clouds brewing, and I'm gonna go inside and get a sparkling water and sit on a cushion.
These are known as Old Year dolls, and they burn them in effigy on New Year's Eve. They're stuffed with flammables and fireworks, and up they go. Out with the old, in with the new. I think that's a wonderful way to end the year. Wishing you peace, harmony, good health, and happiness for the coming year.